Hi guys, I wanted to show a little tip that I do that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but I always figured if I just had an epiphany and came across an idea that I should share it. Now right in front of me is a copy, well a printed out version of one of my patterns. This is for the the Bumps on the Road child leg warmers that I have on my blog. And I printed this out because, again, it's a pattern. It's got different steps. Now a lot of times I know that we all get patterns either from books or from online, obviously, and we print them out like this, and then we start going through and we start marking them off. But what I realize is, what if you want to do this pattern more than once? So instead of reprinting this out and obviously wasting paper to print out, what you could actually do is pick yourself up these clear, almost like report covers from like the school supply section. I believe you can get them from like a local dollar store, so you don't have to spend that much. I mean, you don't really need that much. It's just a clear sleeve, and all you would have to do is take your pattern that you printed out, slide it in, and what it does is it protects it. Now, then you can take a dry erase marker like this, and as you're working a pattern, you can be like, okay, I've done the cast on, it's done, I've done the rows, and you actually can mark it as you're doing it. And then when you're done with the pattern, all you need, I mean, you can use your hand, but all you need is like a napkin, paper towel, and then boom, you erase it, and you're ready to start again. Now, I may not erase as much on this one because I've used this sheet for a lot of different things, but again, I was able to erase it, and now I can use this pattern again. I won't have to print out again. I won't have marks all over. The other cool thing is if you have a clipboard like I do, you can just clip it to your clipboard, and there you go. Now, if you have kids around, because I have a 7-year-old and likes to grab my dry erase marker and ask if she can write on it because she knows it erase, I would make sure you kind of keep your pattern away from your kids, like up a little higher, so they don't go in there and start marking it or erasing it on you. So just kind of keep it someplace safe that nothing will happen to it. But I thought this was a great technique. I mean, I use this idea to keep track of like to-do lists. If you have a standard to-do list for your home or something like that, you can slide it in one of these as well, and just use a dry erase marker to do it to mark it off, wipe it off at the end of the day. And again, these are really cheap to get. You can also, if you know it's a pattern that you really like and that you're probably going to make a lot of, you can get laminating sheets from like a Walmart or even like an office supply store, and you can laminate a pattern that you know you're going to use a lot and do the same idea with the dry erase. I just thought this was good because if you're like me and you do like to-do lists, I'm also always improving those lists, so I wanted to be able to slide out the old and put in the new if it was something I was going to be changing. So again, if a pattern doesn't change and it's something you want to use more than once, then go ahead and like just get these little sleeves, like I said, from a dollar store, Walmart, probably like a Family Dollar, I mean, any store. Sometimes you can get a pack of like 10 for $1, or, again, and what's cool is this has a spot over here where you could put it in a binder. So once you're done, I would definitely get the ones that have it where you can put it in a binder, either like these, or I actually like the ones that are all the way around circles. I don't really like this little tab because it does still fall out, but again, I'm using this on my clipboard, so it doesn't matter. But if you get a binder that you tend to, again, make a lot of patterns, get a bunch of these, slide your printed patterns that you do from the online, and put them in it, and then you got yourself a little library. You can pull it out when you're ready. You can mark it off as you're doing it. And I just thought I'd share this tip because I feel like it's kind of probably a known thing, but I was talking to my husband about laminating and going to Office Max and laminating a bunch of things I wanted to do, and the cost of that was a lot more than just getting one of these. And I remembered I had some of these in my coupon binder, so I tried the idea out and I was like, oh my goodness, for a fraction of the cost of laminating a sheet, I can actually do this and quickly insert and remove them as I see fit if I need to change up my design. So this is just a tip to help people that are, doing a lot of patterns. I tend to make the patterns. I don't tend to follow patterns. So I thought this was a really good idea. Like I said, again, you're able to just kind of mark off however you need to see fit that you're doing the project, that you complete it. If you have a note, like say you want to say, oh, I want to change colors, you can even write on it, change colors. My handwriting is really bad. You can make a little note for yourself, and again, it will just erase off. Now, you will want to keep in mind that the more you use it, like you see, it kind of still smudges a little bit because I've used this a lot. And if your hands get all over it, the grease, the natural oils from your hands might mess it up. But it's still pretty good because, like I said, if I turn this over, this is probably the side I haven't used that much. As you see, it writes a little better. and it erases a little better. So you technically have two sides. When one side gets kind of worn out, you switch to the other. And a little smudge is a lot better than, you know, you can still see what you erased and everything. And again, you can get cooler, and I would say if you're doing something like this, this is a pretty wide dry erase marker. Again, it was a 2-pack from the dollar store, so again, this was even cheap. But I would probably invest in a more finer point one for when I'm checking off like a pattern or a smaller box, just because, you know, if you got like when I printed out this pattern, they were kind of close together. But again, it's a great tip, I thought, and a great, you know, investment to spend a little bit of money. Try this out if you are a person that follows patterns a lot, and see if it works for you to be able to mark off, then erase it, and go on and make your next one, and not worry about all your pencil marks or pen marks being on the actual sheet. So have a great day, and I hope you like this tip.